And my point for me is, who cares what they're rated right now? With what you have ahead of you, Michigan, maybe Arkansas, who's still in the top 25, and then maybe a game against Villanova or North Carolina. Go and take advantage of this opportunity this week in the Bahamas. Win that, win 2 of 3, and have that one loss extremely competitive. And next week you'll be in the top 25. Don't worry about it right now. We know this non-conference schedule is tough. We know that Penny Hardaway said it and made it tough for a reason. So don't worry about, what is this, the third top 25 poll of the season? Don't worry about the third one. Worry about ones later in the season. This one does not matter.
3-0 in the Bahamas, and it'll work out. 0-3 or 1-2, the people that were advocating for being in the poll will look silly.
Yes.
Just win ball games. Don't worry about November 20th polls. My not top story, here's something to worry about. The Tigers had their chance Saturday to beat SMU and couldn't pull it off. They should finish 9-3, and the 3 losses were to the best 3 teams they played. The AAC was awful this year. I picked 9-3 for Memphis this year, largely because how bad that conference is, and it was that bad.
Yeah.
The top 3-4 teams, the 3 teams ahead of the Tigers, I think are clearly better than them. I thought they were in the preseason. And the 10 teams behind the Tigers are just dreadful. They're horrible. And wait till basketball. Yeah. If Florida Atlantic doesn't help prop this up, the Tigers better win in Atlantis.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right about that, because it could get ugly in terms of opponents in conference slate. Again, I mean, Penny Hardaway has said it. Some of the players have said it. The non-conference slate is really everything for the Tigers. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk Tiger football with Jonah Dillon.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer, Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Thinking about a new car or truck and not sure where to get the most for your money? Listen to what Sunrise has to offer. Over 800 new Buicks and GMCs to choose from with their factory rebates and $15 million used car inventory, specializing in vehicles under $15,000. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, it's okay. At Sunrise, we specialize in secondary financing, and Sunrise wants to get you financed. Apply online at sunrisememphis.com. The #1 volume Buick and GMC dealer in the Mid-South. Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free info kit, 800-301-4422. That's 800-301-4422.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting a spread bet together with the over for my parlays, and anytime player touchdown always has me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Year-end means huge savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike with the season of giving back. How about 41 MPG for those holiday road trips? 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Family road trip, 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat legroom, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And get where you're going for less in a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 City, 101 Highway MPGE, $379 a month, $49.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722 7239, MSRP 28,715. EV P560 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. And joining us now to talk Tiger football from the Commercial Appeal, he's the Tiger football beat writer. Jonah Dillon joins us now. Jonah, thanks so much for joining us. Let's start with that game on Saturday against SMU, a 38-34 loss for the Tigers, a game that seemed like Tigers were really competitive for most of the afternoon. But what were your big takeaways from that game against SMU?
Yeah, it kind of felt similar to the other losses that Memphis has had this season where, like, the game was close. Mm-hmm. Memphis led at some point. They trailed. And then down the stretch, the other team just made more plays. I mean, Memphis kind of shot itself in the foot with those penalties on one of those fourth-quarter drives, and then SMU gets the ball back with better field position after a personal foul penalty, drives down the field, scores a touchdown, and that ends the game. So it was typical, really, in the sense that the Tigers have basically showed in all those losses and obviously in their wins that they can hang with all these teams. But for whatever reason, against Tulane, Missouri, and SMU, they just haven't been able to put it together, especially in the fourth quarter and the second half, to be able to actually pull off a win.
Yeah, Jonah, it's right there for the Tigers and all the players that potentially could return for next year. I know people don't like this, but I'm going to start touting it now. The Tigers can be really good next year if they're on the right side of returning players and the potential of not losing players in the portal and what they get back in. This year, I thought they definitely got back in much better than what they lost. They lost some good ones, but they got in good ones. But how do you get over the top of Willie Fritz in Tulane? How do you get over the top of Texas San Antonio going forward? Now, a good thing is behind the Tigers is pure slop.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree, and there's clearly a gap between what's going to be the top three teams next year when SMU is gone and the rest of the conference. I think there's reason to believe that a lot of those teams will improve next year. Now, how much will they improve? Will they be able to actually compete? It's hard to say. I think there will be some improvement. But, we obviously don't know what the schedule is going to look like next year because they're going to have to redo some things with Army coming in. And Memphis obviously is going to go to Florida State early in the season. So that's going to be a huge test and a sort of gauge of where they are early in the season. But at this point, it kind of comes down to, like, these other teams they're not at the same level. Memphis beat them, but they had trouble doing it. SMU didn't, and some of the other teams, UTSA has been playing pretty well recently and winning by a lot of points. So it looks like Memphis is the fourth best team in the conference. With the way the conference looks like now, that's not great. but they beat all the teams below them, and you have to give them credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Seth Henigan, still a little banged up, I would assume, but a great performance from him, throwing over 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. What have you made of what he's been able to do these last couple of weeks, even though that shoulder's still bothering him?
Yeah, it's been really impressive. It was really impressive on Saturday. It was really impressive really the past 3 weeks before that when they were on that winning streak. Obviously, he has that drive against North Texas at the end of the game to win it with a couple seconds left. And then he kept it going in the last couple of games. I don't think that they lost on Saturday because of him. I think the offense has been playing really well, and they've been scoring a lot of points. And I think you can pretty much, you can look at his last stretch of those games and say he is playing the best football he's played since he's been at Memphis. And at the beginning of the season, people were starting to get a little bit eerie about, where is the improvement? I think we've really seen it over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Jonah, for Friday's game against Temple, 11 o'clock game Friday morning, Memphis an 11-point favorite. 11 might be the operable number. It might be 11 Temple fans there. You got to pack your own motivation, and I fear around college football, whether it's for a conference championship game or a college football potential playoff game, that a lot of people want to check out and turn the engine off. If the Tigers do that and lose Friday, a lot of great positive work will be scuttled in one afternoon in Philly.
Yeah, and this feels like the perfect storm of what you just said of like checking out, because you're talking about coming off a deflating loss, and post-game on Saturday, it felt like the end of the season, the way that they were talking. And it was the end of their chance to win the conference championship. Then you have a short week. You're going to play against Temple, which is the worst team in the conference right now. They play in an NFL stadium, which we can assume is not going to be close to filled. It's going to be empty. It's on Black Friday. It's early in the morning. Basically everything that you would say in terms of how do you motivate yourself for this game is coming on Friday. And so you really just don't know what we're going to see until they show up, and especially given how this team has played in some of these games against lesser competition this season. It's really anyone's guess. Obviously, Memphis is a better team. They should win. They shouldn't have that many problems beating Temple, but there's just so many weird situations and circumstances here that it's hard to say.
Jonah, what have you made of the Tigers' run defense lately this season? I mean, SMU runs for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then the 2 weeks before that, you give up over 200 yards and really another 200-yard game against UAB. I mean, it seems like this rushing defense really has yet to be able to find their footing this year.
Yeah, it was really apparent against Charlotte because obviously they had a running back who kind of came out of nowhere, and just checked in. He did not rush for 200 yards last week, so that was a Memphis thing. But it's been a struggle. I think SMU a little bit different because they have so many weapons, and I thought Preston Stone played really well. He's a unique type of quarterback with his ability to scramble out of the pocket, and so that means you have to prepare differently, and you have to have more bodies ready to try to contain him and spy maybe, and that can hurt you in the run defense. But they've struggled. The defensive front has struggled, and that's put other parts of their defense in bad positions throughout the season, especially in the past couple of weeks, like you said. And that's a cause for concern, and that probably means that when the season ends, in a couple of weeks, that's where you look in the transfer portal and in recruiting is how do we bolster this part of our team.
I really believe out there, Jonah, there are coaches, including Coach Silverfield and his staff. They're earning their keep this week. Come on, guys, one more week. Give me 4 more days. Give me 5 more days, and then we can have some downtime. The flip side of that, go to Philadelphia, get that win, 9-3. I think that's to be celebrated for sure. A bowl opportunity to get to a double-digit win season, and now, Jonah, it appears almost kind of blast out of nowhere. The chance to be in the hometown team in the hometown game again in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah, the Liberty Bowl, a lot of people are talking about that this morning. I wrote a story about it earlier today. There's a lot of things that have to happen for that to be a possibility, and the bottom line is that we won't know until after the final week of the season when the conference championships and the college football playoff are decided. I think it's the conversation that it started right after the game on Saturday. Is what do you make of this season, right? Because you're talking, and obviously, it could be colored by what happened on Friday, but you're talking about a team that's beaten every team that it was favored to beat and lost every team that it was an underdog against. So what do you make of that? And again, not that those games that they won, a lot of them weren't as easy. They were much harder than people would have expected. So it's been a weird season, even though when you look at it like that, it seems pretty straightforward. And yeah, if you win 10 games, people are going to say, well, you won 10 games, that's great. And a lot of Memphis fans are going to say, well, we didn't beat any good teams.
Right.
And right now we're looking at teams that are 6-5 as their best wins. So, which is crazy because Boise State might go play for the conference championship, even though they fired their coach in the middle of the season. And so it's just crazy as college football always is, but here we are.
Do you get the sense of your interaction with Tiger fans that they want a game in the Liberty Bowl? Because I find a strange juxtaposition here, Jonah, with Tiger fans almost an aversion to going out to the games this year at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, now wanting to be in the Liberty Bowl game there, when arguably Tulane and SMU both are more quality opponents than Iowa State, and Boise, no doubt, a bigger profile than Iowa State or any potential Liberty Bowl opponent.
Yeah, I think part of it is the idea of playing a Power 5 team, even if we know that Tulane maybe is better than whatever that team would be, or SMU, whoever. Both those teams really, you could say, are better than a lot of Power 5 teams. I think it's split because some people want to travel. They want to get a nice destination bowl game. I don't think Memphis is going to the Hawaii Bowl, so that's not going to happen, but you can always dream. I think there's a lot, it's a novelty thing to be able to watch Memphis play in the Liberty Bowl in a game where, the field is painted different and it feels like a big thing and everything. So I understand that, but there's still a lot that needs to happen. If any of those SEC teams with 5 wins goes and wins this week, that's it. And an SEC team is going to play in the Liberty Bowl. So if you really want to dig into it, go and watch the Egg Bowl. And if Mississippi State wins that game, then that'll change the complexion of how the bowls are going to work. So that's still a possibility for now for Memphis, but a lot of things have to happen.
So you're telling me Tiger fans are pulling for Ole Miss?
Ooh.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't know if Tiger fans want if they want to play it at home in that bowl game, but yeah, that would be a fun one, right? I had never heard that before.
That's right, Jonah.
That'd be
That's right. Nor have I.
No,
Jonah, be safe in Philadelphia.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. We'll hope we can visit next week. And happy Thanksgiving to you and yours and your friends.
Yeah, to you as well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah, so much. Jonah Dillon with the Commercial Appeal, covering all things Tigers football, and it's still a big one this Friday for the Tigers to win Friday 9 to get to 10. I don't think I have to explain a double-digit win season, do I?
No, you shouldn't have to. I mean, but
that resonates with every school everywhere.
It should, but like Jonah said, I think there are still going to be fans that are going to say, well, yeah, 10 wins, but who did they beat? They didn't beat anybody. It's 10 wins.
They sound very difficult to please.
Sounds like it.
If 10 wins doesn't do it for you. Happy holidays to everyone from Jim's Place Grill. They've been doing it over 100 years with charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of celebrations, family time, holidays, and lasting great memories. The Terrace family with their touch for our community. Recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E in grill, and that's a perfect holiday gift for anyone. Get them a gift certificate from Jim's Place Grill and go there and enjoy all these games and all these good times that we're going to have, and call them or email or go online and find out more for your holiday get-together right there. Whether it's family or your office or friends, they'll take care of you. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's Place and taste and see and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday 11 a to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday 5 p.m. to 9:30 in that great bar area. Since 1921, a Memphis landmark. Hard work, values, and a dedication to their diners. The Terrace family, they've created a memorable dining experience for you and your friends. Lunch menu like the staples like the shrimp cocktail, the crab cakes, the souffle mauve, the salad dressings, all homemade. And at dinner time, seafood, soups, calamari, and those great steaks, ribeyes, fillets, and strips. The bar area to watch the games and enjoy good times with friends and people in the bar area. All at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone from Jim's Place Grill.
Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Grizzlies and what they did over the weekend. That's next on Sportstime.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC.
It's time for the holidays.
Yeah, blah, humbug.
What, you're not all excited for the turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce?
The cooking, the cleaning, the relatives.
Well, you got people coming in from out of town?
Hi, so many people.
It'll be fun.
All I want to do is go to Central Barbecue.
That's all you ever want to do.
Alone.
Come on, it's the holidays.
Just sitting there in a booth all by myself, enjoying Central Barbecue, no family, being all festive.
Well, you enjoy your own private Central Barbecue holiday.
That is all I ask.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston. This year, FanDuel's got something you'll really be thankful for. Because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. With so many games going on, Thanksgiving is the perfect time to join. Rivalry games like the Cowboys and Commanders, gotta love Dallas. And how about the Lions? The way they're playing, I think they'll take care of the Packers in another rivalry game. So visit FanDuel.com/Gasman and fill up your plate with parlays and player props all weekend long. And not just the NFL, college football, college hoops, and the NBA as well. FanDuel, official partner of the National Football League. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
Here's Gould's holiday special in-store and online. Come to any Gould's over the Black Friday weekend or purchase online on Cyber Monday and Tuesday and receive $20 off when you purchase $120 in gift cards. It's the perfect gift for everyone. This holiday season, give someone you love a Gould's gift card. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, Brett, we've talked a lot about the Tigers today, but the Grizzlies were also in action this weekend, and they had a pair of games. We talked about kind of this stretch for the Grizzlies. I know we talked about it last week when we talked to DeMichael. We talked about it before the weekend of kind of this stretch of games. And for the Grizzlies, they split this weekend against the Celtics and the Spurs. What'd you make of these two games for the Grizzlies?
Incredible comeback at a place that, to me, is still like, a special place to go to in the NBA. I know the Spurs aren't any good, and they haven't been any good in a while, but just you look at the Grizzlies' record all time going there. So to be down that big and staring 210 in the eyes, and to come back and win fairly comfortably over a really bad team. And then last night to have it right there to maybe kickstart the year, get some things going. There were some different combinations out there last night for the Grizzlies.
There were.
Ooh, a couple of times, just hard to believe. That's the five on the floor, but they did pretty well. That was mostly at the end of the third quarter, and it was Jaron and four nobodies out there on the court, and had the game right there to be won against Boston. I think the best team in the league, and Boston able to pull it out. The only Celtics appearance at home all year, I was not there. Did you go?
I did not, no.
I did not go. Watching on TV and hearing the Celtic fans, they were rowdy. Now, it's one trip for one of the known teams, but every time I think we're past this, whether it's player, whether it's LeBron or Steph, or it's not really Steph anymore because there's so much contempt for Golden State.
But
Kevin Durant,
when he was with the Lakers, and
could understand that then in the formative years of the Grizzlies,
Kevin
but
Durant,
still to hear an overwhelming throng last night, for the opposing team, I keep thinking we're at or near the end of that, and the Lakers come to town, the Celtics come to town, and we find we're not.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like, it's been, 2 or 3 years we've been saying that, okay, this is the year that, we're gonna get out of that, and it's just gonna be Grizzlies, but, I know I know it sells, and, people, I guess, love the Stars.
And people got every right to pull for who they want to.
I don't care who you're pulling for at the games, but yeah, no, I thought we would be a little past that by now.
I did too, and I guess Celtics are the only Eastern team left like that, right? They would be about the only one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. I would think.
Maybe Giannis fans.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe the Bucks, but I just don't know how many.
No.
How many there are? I don't know how many specific Giannis fans. I'm just gonna go and cheer for Giannis. There are. I think everyone loves Giannis. Giannis is a very likable person, I think, but I don't think anybody's just coming out of the woodworks just to
Bulls
watch and cheer
fans.
for them. No,
that's come and gone.
That's
hasn't
come and gone.
In the West, Lakers about it because we've got some good contempt with everybody else.
Seems like it. I mean, I'm curious, if when Phoenix rolls in, are there still some KD fans that are just following him from place to place? But it'd surprise me.
And that win soon because he's in his 17th year.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, it seems like it's dwindling, but I don't know.
But only one time that Boston comes through, so
Sure, but this next game is a big one. You got the Grizzlies versus Dillon Brooks, and down there in Houston, and Houston has really been a team that has been impressive. 6-5 on the season and 6-1 at home.
The Grizzlies in the preseason, if we had done W's and L's, this would have been a road game. You think would be won.
Yeah.
Now I'm not so sure as you're facing it on Wednesday night, and then that Friday night game against Kevin Durant in Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's we knew it was going to be tough without John Moran. I don't think we thought we'd be sitting here looking at a 3-10 team, but this is a tough stretch, and you're absolutely right. Before the season, if you had asked me on November 22nd, Grizzlies versus Houston, who's going to win, I would have said, oh, the Grizzlies. They'll dominate that game, and so now it's a big question mark. In that game against the Suns, we've seen how good that Suns team can be on really any given night. So it's going to be tough.
I said it a few weeks ago. At the end of the year, I think it's going to be shocking to look back and see what the longest win streak will be all year for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, and who knows when that win streak comes? If it comes,
I welcome it.
I welcome it. I want it. I was hoping maybe we could get a chance to see it
Brian,
start last night.
And we had people try to talk us out of it. Our love for the young Pistons.
Oh man. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Remember when they were 2-1?
Yeah. You remember when before the season started and there was no record and we were so high on them? I mean,
yeah. They're 2-12.
Yep. I saw that the other day and oh man, those Pistons. But hey, next year, Brett. That's what we can always say about this Pistons team. Okay, they just need this year.
Next calendar year or next NBA season?
Next NBA season.
I got you.
Next
Thanks.
NBA year. Yes, no problem. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour, get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk college football and college basketball with David Cobb.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722,7239, MSRP 28,715. EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealers.com.
Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips. 41 MPG highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Or a big family that needs more room? 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month. $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
A 3-carat lab-grown diamond for just $599? A 2-carat lab-grown for only $299? A 1-carat lab-grown diamond for just $99? It's not a mistake. It's Genesis Diamond's unbelievable lab-grown Black Friday sale. That's right. This weekend, Genesis is offering deals absolutely no one can touch. So you can put the ring of her dreams on her finger and get the deal of your dreams at the same time. Other stores are charging $10,000 for 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. But at Genesis, it's just $599. Their 2-carat lab-grown diamonds are over $4,000, but the Genesis price is just $299, and their 1-carat lab-growns are $1,500. But you can get a 1-carat lab-grown at Genesis for just $99. This offer is not too good to be true, but it is limited to the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis' exclusive settings. Imagine proposing to the love of your life with a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond, any shape, showcased in a one-of-a-kind setting. Don't miss Genesis Diamond's lab-grown Black Friday event this weekend, including Sunday, on Poplar at Perkins Extended. See store for details.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. A great matchup with two division leaders, both coming off their bye weeks. From Kansas City, it's the 7-2 Chiefs hosting the 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner will have the call from a rocking Arrowhead Stadium, on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting a spread bet together with the over for my parlays, and anytime player touchdown always has me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. It expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Let's end this year with a bang with Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. You want huge savings? We Gossett. The awards keep coming for the world's first and best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV. 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, 420 total range and PGE. We Gossett at $299.96 a month. Plus, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, buy for $26,850 or $379 a month. Plus, IIHS top safety pick in seat 7. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $32,185 or $399 a month. All equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062,303, MSRP 44,355, 84 months, 500 military and conquest or loyalty rebate. Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33,185. Sport RU 001,004, MSRP 27,850. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Wet driving conditions are going to send you out early. We've already had a couple of wrecks on Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. I'm looking at one right now over to the side just past Ridgeway. There was one further on out before you get to Kirby. Again, extra times you head out to Collierville. It's already busy on 240 as you get on to Bill Morris Parkway there going outbound. It's starting to slow down at times on 55 again coming across the bridge over from West Memphis. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry gearing up for Black Friday. Go by and see them before then at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Joining Brian and Brett now on Sports Time is National College Football writer for CBS Sports, Memphis native and Tennessee grad, who you can find on Twitter X at David W. Cobb. It's David Cobb.
David Cobb joining us now from CBS Sports, college football and college basketball is what he covers for CBS Sports, and he joins us now. David, thanks so much for joining us, and I got to ask you, is this the busiest time of the year for you with all of the college football rivalry week going on, and then on top of that, feast week for college basketball?
Yeah, it's great, though. It's a great time of year. To add on to it, conducting a move right now to a new residence. So that has doubly ratcheted up the intensity. But yesterday was great, getting to watch a lot of college basketball in the afternoon. Honestly, guys, I did not watch a single second of an NFL game yesterday, which is sort of mind-boggling. I think sometimes people think like, oh, you're a sports writer. You must know what's going on in the NFL, right?
Right.
And it's like, actually, not really, because I'm watching college football all day on Saturday.
I got a job.
This time of year it's college basketball. I mean, I still have my fantasy team and stuff, but yeah. I appreciate y'all not like springing random NFL questions on me because I wouldn't do so well with them at this time of year.
It's all right.
So what's your biggest surprise so far? Was it Jackson State over Mizzou?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. How about that? Two mutual opponents there for Memphis. They've played both. Jackson State was reasonably competitive against Memphis, but they didn't do anything after that to make me think they were going to go to Como and get a win.
Mm-hmm.
So that was shocking. It devalues what Memphis did at Missouri a little bit. So from that standpoint, it's kind of disappointing for the Tigers. But hey, it makes the Jackson State win look better. So what a shocking upset there. Mo Williams, I think, is actually doing a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard to tell sometimes with those SWAC teams because they play really, really difficult non-conference schedules because they need those road games to pay the bills in their athletic department. So they go to Columbia, Missouri. They don't play a home game probably until January because they're trying to get the bills paid, and with that, they got to take a bunch of losses. So I was happy to see them get rewarded and pull off a big win.
Atlanta's hadn't been devalued, though, has it?
Oh, goodness. No, well, I mean, it's not elite. It's not Maui, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you're going to get a good read on Memphis in this event, even if there's not just like a deep well of marquee teams in it. I still think this one will stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
come February or early March when we're looking at the resumes of the teams that are in this
You
one.
beat North Carolina for the championship, and it'll stand a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. No doubt. And I mean, of the teams that are in this, I mean, Memphis is looking as strong as anybody, guys. I mean, their start has been really impressive. I know.
And Arkansas isn't.
They're one of the ones that you're scratching your head. But when I say that the field that it'll stand the test of time, what I mean is that Arkansas is coming off that loss to UNC Greensboro. And that's pretty embarrassing. However, we know Eric Musselman always gets the most out of his teams come SEC play, and he's still figuring out this group like he does every year. He's got a ton of transfers that he brought in, and so it's just going to take them time to get it figured out. Greensboro, I think they're actually going to be decent in their league, so don't throw Arkansas out just yet. That's a bad loss, no doubt, but I think Arkansas will still be an NCAA tournament team.
Yeah. The last thing on Jackson State, my favorite part about Jackson State's basketball team is the fact that, like you said, they don't play a home game until like January 6th, but they've already played 6 games this season. The first week, it was Monday night against Memphis, then Wednesday, Friday, had the weekend off, then Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and now they have a whole week off before playing their next game, but already 6 games. Tigers have only played 3 games so far, so it's crazy how many games Jackson State has already played this season and picking up their first win. But David, what did you make today? I know a lot of Tiger fans frustrated that for another week the Tigers sit at number 26th in the rankings, right outside of that top 25.
Not in mine. I got them at number 8 in my power rankings. Okay, now let me explain that though. The power rankings are not a prediction of what I think is to come,
right?
And they are not a reflection of history of last season or what have you. So I'm going to have Memphis ahead of a team like Gonzaga that has not beaten anybody, even though in every other poll, you're going to see Gonzaga ahead. But I look at the Memphis road win at Missouri. Granted, I was looking at it before Missouri lost at home to Jackson State. And I factor them in there because when I look at a Gonzaga and I'm thinking, okay, sure, we're predicting that you're going to be good, but what have you done for me so far? You beat Eastern Oregon, okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Memphis should be ranked, though. I mean, they've played very well. They've taken care of business. And, I think when you look at the ingredients of the roster that Penny Hardaway's put together, and, by the way, they are up to this pretty good start with Penny having been suspended for those games. So, I think that actually should help the perception of Memphis that they're playing well, they're scoring points without their head coach. So, yeah, why aren't they ranked? I'm really not sure. They can take care of that, though, with a good showing in the battle for Atlantis.
I don't think they can afford to be anything worse than 2-1. They can't be 1-2 and 0-3. I don't think will happen, but would be, if it happened, would be devastating because now FAU is nicked up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. The FAU loss at home to Bryant. I think maybe the knee-jerk reaction, if you're a Memphis fan or whatever, is to kind of laugh. but you should actually be sad that FAU lost at home to Bryant. That's just one of those league killers where all it's going to do is drag down the metrics of the entire conference because there wasn't a loss like that on FAU's resume last season. They always took care of business against those caliber of teams. And so it opens the door for Memphis to come out of this weekend looking like the clear-cut best team in the AAC. So, I think 2-1, I would be stunned if Memphis didn't at least go 2-1. But, there's a way it goes sideways, right? Like if you end up dropping the first one against Michigan and then you end up against Stanford, right? That win's probably not going to do a whole lot for you. And, and then there's a world where your final game is against like a Northern Iowa or something. So, that's the worst case scenario. I think there's a lot of really good case scenarios for Memphis coming out of this thing. I think the bracket sets up nicely for them. And I think there's a better chance than not that they come out of this thing with at least one really nice victory to hang their hat on.
And we knew the newfangled AAC would be marginal in basketball. It could be horrifically bad, much worse than football. And football's bad. From after the Tigers at 4, the rest of this league is horrible.
Yeah, I really thought it would be better in basketball. It's not off to the best start, though, obviously. Really thinking about FAU's performance there. If you really look at the numbers, there's just not a lot in their favor right now. I mean, UAB had the win over Maryland that looked good in the moment, but now Maryland is terrible. So it's going to be tough for the AAC to be anything more than a two-bid league, which we've heard that song before. But it has the potential to slip into one-bid territory if FAU in particular doesn't get it together. And thankfully FAU has a great schedule. So it's not like they can't recover from the Bryant loss, but it just puts them in a really tough position to build a resume. It's a situation Memphis fans are all too familiar with. So, I'm not ready to throw in the towel on the Owls just yet, but not a good start.
No, not a good start at all. Well, right now, Gonzaga and Purdue playing in the Maui Invitational. Gonzaga up early. Who do you think wins in Maui?
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing field.
That's incredible.
Out there. It's one of the best ever. I think Chaminade and Syracuse are maybe the only unranked teams.
Yeah,
it's an awesome field. I like Kansas. Loved what I saw from the Jayhawks in that win over Kentucky last week, Champions Classic. They just got such a solid core with Kevin McCullough and DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams, and Hunter Dickinson. I don't think you'll find a better top four for anybody in college basketball this season. And they already know who they're going to, when they're going to them. It's like the roles are already well-defined, which you don't always see this time of year, especially on a team like that actually lost some key pieces from last season. So I like the Jayhawks. I think they are number one in the AP poll for a reason. I got them at number 2 in my power rankings solely because of how impressive Arizona was winning at Cameron Indoor. However, Arizona's not in this field, thank goodness. But yeah, no, I mean, just easy answer, but I think there's a great chance Kansas ends up as the Maui champion.
David, remember when we thought Georgia was gettable in college football?
It seems like a distant memory, Brett.
It does, doesn't it? And it took all year for them to really bare their teeth, didn't it?
And they're doing it. Their offense is next level. I mean, they shredded Tennessee without Ladd McConkey playing. Lovett and Ra Thomas hardly did anything. And all of a sudden, Dylan Bell is out there looking like a future first-round NFL draft pick when the man has caught like 12 passes all season going into their toughest road game of the year. I mean, that's how deep Georgia is. It's almost unfair that Georgia can trot out a guy like Dylan Bell that has me, who covers this stuff for a living, frantically looking up his profile to be like, who is this guy, right? Because he's throwing passes. He's lining up as a running back. He's making ridiculous contested catches on third down, and he's like their 7th option offensively. That's how deep Georgia is. And so Brock Bowers looks awesome again now, coming back from that tight rep surgery. Carson Beck is one of the best quarterbacks in the country at this point. So it's a juggernaut, and it's a different type of juggernaut too, because their offense is better than it has been the last 2 seasons.
I'm not talking about winning it, but should Carson Beck get some third place votes for Heisman Trophy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's the best player on the best team, then yeah, I mean, okay, you could argue Brock Bowers is better, the best player on Georgia's team. Okay, I'll hear you on that. He missed those games, though. Carson Beck is the quarterback, and I think he's the quarterback for the best team. So I think he should be up there. I think he should be in the mix. I don't think he's better than Jaden Daniels. I don't think he's a better player than Marvin Harrison Jr. But at this point, I'd be ready to send him to New York.
So if Jaden Daniels' team's losses impeaches him, shouldn't Carson Beck be propped up by his team and his stat line? And his stat line is like 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I'm okay with that logic. I mean, maybe some people aren't, but I do. I think it's relative, and team success should have some influence on the Heisman Trophy race, because in theory, the greatest players in the sport should elevate their teams to championship level contention. And I know that's not practical in all cases, right? There's probably some elite players out there on teams that aren't even going to go bowling right now, right? But you're going to win the Heisman Trophy. I think your team should at least be decent. And the reality is voters are going to see more of the players who are on the marquee championship contending team. That's just the way it works. So I don't know if that's the way it should be. I'd be interested to hear your thinking on it, Brett. But I do think at least in some degree team success should be a factor. It shouldn't be everything, but it should be a factor.
I'm trying to think of the last time. If Jaden Daniels wins it, he's going to win it on a 9-3 team. Maybe Ricky Williams in 98 with 3 losses, maybe, but I'd have to check that. It might not be 3, but that would be the first one I'd have to go back to. And then you'd have to go back to the late 60s and Steve Owens at Oklahoma for even more losses than that. And the most famous one, Paul Hornung on a 2-8 team, topping Johnny Majors.
Well, the one I hear referenced a lot in this debate is RG3. I think that Baylor team, I think they were a 3-loss team.
Were they?
When it was all said and done.
Okay.
But it's like, they were good. They're in the Big 12 contention. They were in the title hunt. They finished 10-3 with a bowl win.
Okay, so he was 9-3 going into voting.
Yeah, and that could be the situation that Jaden Daniels is in. I mean, I bet his stat line compares pretty closely to RG3's Heisman season to this one. I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's ridiculous with the numbers.
He's the best player I've seen in person this year.
Incredible.
I mean, honestly, I think he's better than Michael Penix and Bo Nix. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet. John Canzano, he does a great job covering the Pac-12 out on the West Coast, and has for many years. Like, he's a really good reporter. I just thought it was bizarre that he decided to put it out there that Jaden Daniels would, quote, hold a clipboard at Washington or Oregon. And I'm like, guy, we saw Bo Nix play in the SEC. It wasn't very impressive, okay?
But we saw Jaden Daniels not be very impressive in the Pac at Arizona State. It is odd, a strange dichotomy that Bo Nix was good in the SEC, great in the Pac-12. Jaden Daniels, most of us didn't even know he was at Arizona State, and the one of the single worst jobs in the history of intercollegiate athletics was turned in by Herm Edwards at Arizona State. But I digress. But we didn't even know Jaden Daniels was there, and now he's been great in the belly of the beast, the SEC.
Yeah, he's been awesome. Back in 19, his true freshman season, Daniels was awesome, and that's still when it seemed like Herm Edwards cared and was interested and engaged, and I'm pretty sure he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated that freshman season at Arizona State, and then it just cratered because COVID happened. We know how that went in the Pac-12, and then Herm Edwards kind of just gave up, and he had nothing around him, and he just kind of faded into oblivion those next 2 seasons, which is why it was such a weird move when Brian Kelly went out to get him from the portal, because you were like, man, what does he see in Jaden Daniels? Well, he saw something that the rest of us didn't, or that the rest of us had forgotten about.
Well, there was another LSU quarterback that we were wondering what did everybody see in the portal, and that was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. They've struck gold a couple of times now, and I kind of clap back at this idea that Daniels wouldn't start at Washington or Oregon, and said Bo Nix might be the third quarterback at LSU, and it's a little bit tongue in cheek, but. Garrett Nussmeier as LSU's backup, we're expecting him to be one of the best in the SEC next season, top 10 quarterback probably in the sport. So I actually don't think it's too far-fetched in the ridiculous scenario of Bo Nix being on the roster at LSU, that he would be number 3 on that depth chart. So Brian Kelly's got a lot of issues to figure out at LSU, but the quarterback play I don't think is one of them.
Yeah. Talking to David Cobb from CBS Sports. He joins us every Monday afternoon, talk college football and college basketball. Obviously a terrible injury for Florida State and their quarterback, Jordan Travis. I was sent the video because I missed the play. I was sent the video by my brother while I was eating dinner on Saturday night, and it was not, my stomach did not like that. But a terrible injury, an ugly injury for Jordan Travis. How much does that hurt Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles going forward?
I mean, I kind of hate the idea that it would impact their college football playoff ranking. I understand, obviously, that this impacts Florida State, that success will be more difficult for Florida State without their star quarterback. I get that. But to penalize a team for having a player get hurt, it just has never really set right with me. But we saw it with the AP poll yesterday. The AP voters, they didn't blink. They went ahead and jumped Washington, and part of that is Washington picking up a big win against Oregon State. So I get it. It just stinks for Florida State to have this banner year. And it honestly reminds me of 98, doesn't it, Brett? Because in 98, when Tennessee beat Florida State in the national title game, Chris Winkie had gotten injured.
Yeah.
I want to say the
Marcus Allen
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They were down to, I think, QB number 3 when Tennessee beat them to win the national title. And you hate, like, once in a quarter century, Florida State's been there with Jameis, I guess. But for something like a banner year, a championship caliber year to be marred by an injury like that.
It's going to be the conversation all the offseason and into media days next year. And into, he really has clearance of it. Did Hunter Yurachek in Arkansas make the right decision in keeping Sam Pittman one more year? I looked at Arkansas's non-conference schedule next year, and I think they go to Oklahoma State, and I think they have UAB at home. The other two are very winnable. He can't go 2-2 non-conference, or he won't see a league game. What do you think of? What was your first impression of they're sticking with him? I hear every story of why.
Yeah, no, I think I'm okay with it. Like, my opinion on it is that Sam Pittman walked into a horrendous situation. I mean, actually, that's not an opinion. That's fact. Chad Morris left him nothing. Arkansas was in probably the worst condition it's ever been in the history of its program when Sam Pittman took over. He immediately made them competitive, won 9 games in year 2, won a bowl in year 3, and look at all the close losses this year. I know nobody cares about moral victories, but it's not like they're out there getting blown out. Like the Auburn loss, that was an anomaly. For the most part, they've been there at the end with a chance to win in these games. And you got to factor in the fact he lost Barry Odom to the head coaching position at UNLV. He lost Kendall Briles to the offensive coordinator position at TCU. Those were 2 huge, huge hits that the Arkansas coaching staff. And Sam Pittman is not a coordinator. Right. He's never been a coordinator. So the coordinator hires are so important to him. And I don't know what that means for the guys he has in there now, but whether it's retaining them or going in a new direction with the coordinators, that's ultimately what's going to be the key to figuring out whether Arkansas can reclaim a winning trajectory. I don't think they're all that far off. It's just the offensive line. I think what makes it most disappointing is that the offensive line struggled this season. That's the thing you would think a Sam Pittman coach team would be good at. But on the whole, I think he deserves one more year. I know the results weren't great this season, but look at what he inherited and look at how competitive they've been.
Yeah. And the coaching market is so very thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know who you're going to get, right? Like, if you've got it lined up, okay, let's say theoretically, right? Like, there's been a lot of smoke around the interest in Gus Malzahn from the boosters.
He's 5-6.
Yeah, it doesn't get me excited for Arkansas football.
Tom Herman at FAU, he's 4-7.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Going to get Jason Candle from Toledo? You're going to get in the bidding war for Jamie Chadwell? I don't know. There's thin. That's a good way to put it, Brad. There's just not a lot out there.
Are you going to have a press conference to go, we just fired a really good man that took over a dumpster fire, and we hired a guy from Central Florida that helped destabilize our program for years, and he went 5-7 this year. Yay!
That's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Gus would have been a great hire for Arkansas at various times over the years. I think that ship has sailed. I don't think there's a Mac Brown second wind in there for Gus. I think what we're seeing with him is what we're seeing with Chip Kelly out at UCLA. We're seeing with other coaches around the country who hung their hat on a different style of offense in the early to mid 2000s, and now the rest of the sport is caught up. It's not as innovative as it used to be, and it's harder to win. So if you're trying to sell your fan base on Gus Malzahn, you're selling them something that happened in the past.
Yeah, I think you're right. But David, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your Thanksgiving and enjoy this weekend of all sorts of sports, college football and college basketball, all going at the same time. And we'll do it again next Monday.
All righty, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
Thank you. David Cobb with us from CBS covering college football and college basketball, and he'll be back with us next Monday when we have it all figured out from the world of college football, I think. On that to-do list for the holidays, you're going to want to write this down. Go to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. Put it in big, bold letters, too. A lot of these new Silverados, they have big, bold red tags on them, and you got a good deal for all those. Kevin and Jeff said they'll get you financing as low as $1.9 or $2,000 back in cash. You could get one of the new Equinox with financing as low as $1.9 or $1,000 back in cash. And your good credit deserves it, and you'll get it at All-Star. First exit into Mississippi on Highway 78. That's Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there at All-Star Chevrolet. Happy holidays from everyone at All-Star. And in Olive Branch, you can find the new Chevy you want, or Tahoes, or Trailblazers. A lot of families I know love the Traverse with the cargo space and that third row seat, so you can do more together this holiday season for any road trip. Maybe a bowl game for a road trip. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get a $500 bonus. If you want a certified pre-owned Chevy or any pre-owned, All-Star, the lot is full. They have a Honda. They have a Nissan Rogue. They have a Lexus. They have Ram trucks, Suburbans, Jeeps. If it's not on the lot, ask Jeff, and he'll find it for you. And Kevin and Jeff asked me to thank all of you who brought your cars and your trucks in all of 2023 down to All-Star to sell, and you can get a check today for great cash. Remember, it's not South Haven, Collierville, Mount Moriah, or Bartlett. It's got to be Olive Branch. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy today, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, let's grab a quick break. When we come back, we got to get to our Sissy's Log Cabin and look back at the weekend in the SEC.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
As you know, the holiday season is fast approaching, and as you also probably know, 117 Prime, Memphis's premier dining destination, now has its menu available for takeout. Now, far be it from us to ever suggest that somebody could, theoretically, order a full dinner from 117 Prime and then pass it off as their own cooking at a holiday meal. We all agree that doing so would be unethical. It would be just plain wrong. But think about how much effort you could save by having 117 Prime make dinner, and then you get to reap all the rewards. Again, it would be wrong.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck, because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together. There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
The Black Friday sales event is on, and you better run, not walk, to Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Plus, Gossett's got no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days, no payments. Take your pick, 2023 Dodge Charger SXT or 2023 Dodge Challenger SXT, $6,000 off MSRP. Or check out 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn, seat 6, 6,750 pounds towing capacity. We Gossett at $11,000 off. And if we don't have what you're looking for, Gossett can order it today. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike, or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Pathfinder PH 50 8657 MSRP 35960. Challenger PH 596577 MSRP 36345. Ram PN 523262 MSRP 55755. Financing and deferred monthly to well-qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. Take retail delivery by 11/30/23. Includes all rebates and incentives. 695 PF. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston. This year, FanDuel's got something you'll really be thankful for. Because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. With so many games going on, Thanksgiving is the perfect time to join. Rivalry games like the Cowboys and Commanders, gotta love Dallas. And how about the Lions? The way they're playing, I think they'll take care of the Packers in another rivalry game. So visit FanDuel.com/Gasman and fill up your plate with parlays and player props all weekend long. And not just the NFL. College football, college hoops, and the NBA as well. FanDuel, official partner of the National Football League. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time for a look back at the weekend in the SEC. Brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies with 9,000 square foot in Laurelwood. Let's go inside the SEC with Bryant, Brett, and Jay Morgan.
Chad Kelly in the gun formation. 3rd and inches for Ole Miss.
Carlton will kick it. It is on the way, and it is up.
Buck Bellew looking at it, going to pitch it to Herschel Walker, try to get him outside. He's going to get 5.
The snap is high. Kelly grabs it, wants to throw, fires it up in the air. Treadwell can't get it.
It is good! Oh, my!
Get it. Deflection is caught. Deflection is caught. And down the sidelines is Adebayo. He's to the end zone. He's in there. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
He's got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He needs a block. There goes Herschel. There goes Herschel.
And you can wrap this one in maroon and white, my friends.
Arkansas is headed to Atlanta. The national champion is clad in big orange.
Saturday was Cupcake Saturday for a lot of teams in the SEC, and they took advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And this is the time of year that a lot of people are going to take advantage of all the great offers at Sissy's Log Cabin. 9,000 square foot in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. And I know people are thinking about engagement rings for the holidays. They have the Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, rings, necklaces, and earrings. Supporter of Tigers Athletics and the official jeweler of the Tigers and of the Memphis Grizzlies, and the FedEx Forum with Floor Seat Lounge. New location opening soon at 4542 Poplar. Bill Jones, his great team, they're here to stay, part of the fabric of the community since 1970 with 6 locations across Arkansas and Tennessee. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry. It got started with a Cupcake Saturday morning. Bama 66-10. 8 different Bama players scored, 574 total yards on offense for them. But this week it's going to be a lot different as they go to Jordan-Hare, and then next week the SEC championship game against Georgia. They they marked every they had a check mark in every box Saturday.
Yep. No, I mean, they did what you expect Alabama to do when they're playing a team like Chattanooga. And, I mean, you got a couple different quarterbacks in there. Ty Simpson getting some run and led the team in rushing as well. So, I mean, it's what you want kind of as an appetizer for the Iron Bowl this week.
And it was an appetizer. Ole Miss 35-3 over ULM after a really ugly first half. About 40,000 in attendance in Oxford, but the second half, Jackson Dart and Caden Prescorn got it going with 3 touchdowns for Jackson Dart, 310 yards, no turnovers, 19 touchdowns on the year for him with 5 interceptions, approaching 3,000 yards. But the biggest game of the year for Ole Miss comes up on Thursday night against Mississippi State. Caden Prescorn with his best game at Ole Miss, 6 catches, 69 yards, and his first touchdown. Unbelievable hands. I'm going to say it right now. Caden Prescorn better than Dawson Knox.
Wow. High praise. I mean, what he did last year in Memphis has been was really impressive. And then this year, obviously, coming back from an injury and trying to kind of get back into the groove, new system. It kind of took him some time. But you're right, an unbelievable game from him on Saturday.
And had that August injury that really limited him. Mississippi State, 41-20 winners over Southern Miss. First game back since October 7th for Will Rogers when he got hurt against Western Michigan. He was a little bit rusty, but shook some of it off. 2 touchdowns, 12 of 27, 144 yards for Mississippi State, 238 rushing for State against Southern Miss. They beat one rival. Now they got the big rival on Thursday in the battle for the Golden Egg.
Yeah, and I think it's a win they needed. I mean, Will Rogers coming back, I thought looked good, a little rusty early, but I think it was big. No turnovers for him in his first game back. But obviously, your first game as a team after your coach gets fired can be difficult, but came out and kind of handled business against Southern Miss.
A&M 38-10 over Abilene Christian. Look, a lot's been said about Texas A&M, but they had a legitimate 90,000 there for Abilene Christian.
That's incredible.
90,000 for that with everything that's going on there. Moose Muhammad, son of Muhsin Muhammad, with a 49-yard touchdown catch from Jalen Henderson. This week, A&M goes to Baton Rouge. 11 o'clock game Saturday. The league almost never makes LSU play in that 11 o'clock game, but they have to this week.
Yeah, no, you're right. It'll be an early one for LSU, but a good win for Texas A&M. Kind of same boat as Mississippi State. You just fire your head coach. How do you come out and look? You get an opponent like Abilene Christian, and came out and I thought got the job done early. Didn't look like they were like sleepwalking through that game against Abilene Christian. So I thought a good win for A&M.
Whatever bowl gets Texas A&M, good luck on the rosters.
Oh man, yeah.
Good luck on the roster for A&M. Good luck on who will want to go and play in that game, because it's going to be every man for himself at a lot of places next Sunday in college football. Georgia 38-10 over Tennessee. That game we look forward to all summer, and we were afraid it could end up like this. Good start for Tennessee, but like Ole Miss, Tennessee just couldn't hang with Georgia. Not many can. Carson Beck, 298, 3 touchdowns. 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I said 6 earlier. He's over 3,300 yards. Tennessee, 2 for 11 on third down. Why not Carson Beck for Heisman?
Yeah, man, it's a good question. He's been playing really, really well. Kind of I don't want to say a bad start to the season, a slow start to the season for Carson Beck. Had to get some time to get used to being the starting quarterback, but has really turned it on as of late. And another thing, Tennessee, no turnovers in that game against Georgia and still a 38-10 loss.
Georgia at Georgia Tech Saturday night. That's one of 4 big SEC, ACC games. Do you think there are any upsets in those? Can South Carolina beat Clemson? Can Florida beat FSU? Can Georgia Tech beat Georgia? And the fourth one is Louisville and Kentucky.
I don't think so. No, I don't think there's any upsets.
4 for 4 ACC, or 3 out of 4 ACC, and Georgia the only winner?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, Brett, kind of thing we've talked about kind of all season. It's been kind of the year of no upsets almost, and so I think it might be chalk.
The SEC that did nothing, really nothing special in the September non-conference, if they could go 4 for 4 Saturday, Georgia's going to win. If they can go 3 for 3 in those other 3, it wrecks the college football playoff scenarios.
Oh, absolutely.
And it would benefit the SEC. New Mexico State 31-10 over Auburn. Coach Hugh Freeze good for one of these a year. Get used to it, Auburn. He just is. I've seen it for a while.
Yeah.
He's good for an upset a year,
Sure.
but he's good for one of these a year. I think he is a great game planner.
Absolutely.
On game day itself, he's still got some coaching maturity to do. Very average, I think, on game day. A lot of times, 213 yards to 65 for New Mexico State. Last year, Jerry Keel beat him. This is odd. Sam Pittman can't beat Hugh Freeze anywhere. Hugh Freeze can't beat Jerry Keel anywhere.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is.
That's wild.
And they held Jarquez Hunter to 27 yards rushing.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, the Auburn, it seemed like these last couple of weeks was really getting the run game going, and just nothing on Saturday against New Mexico State. And look, this is not a bad New Mexico State team. Entered this game 8-3, now 9-3 on the season, and it really looks like Auburn kind of just looked past them in next week's game, or I guess now this week's game against Alabama.
9 penalties for Auburn. Mizzou 33-31 in one of the better games of the day in college football and in the SEC. Held on to win after Florida couldn't stop a 4th and 17. The Gators are really unrecognizable. Lose at home to a really bad Arkansas team in overtime, and have this game where they can win it. The big three for Mizzou: Brady Cook 331 and a touchdown, Corey Schrader 148 yards rushing and a touchdown, and Luther Burden 158 and got open in 4-person bracketed coverage on that 4th and 17.
It's unbelievable, but what these three do, and for for Florida, Graham Mertz got a little banged up in that game on Saturday, but huge win for Missouri, and you're right, Florida. I mean, this just has been a very weird season for them.
Mizzou 9 of 16 on third down. With one of the differences in the game. Arkansas 44-20 over FIU, but the big news, Sam Pittman staying. I think he knew it Saturday night. I think he knew it Friday night, even talking to the ESPN announcers, and they referenced it a lot during the broadcast. And then it was official on Sunday with the tweet from Hunter Yurchek. It will be one of the stories of the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
His staying.
I think you're absolutely right. In a game against FIU, I didn't get to see a ton of this game, but I was talking to Melinda's older brother who went to Arkansas, and he said that what he was hearing from people at the games is just wasn't a lot of people at the game. And we were just talking about Texas A&M and all of the people they had at that one on Saturday.
It was nobody there.
It was nobody there. I saw a lot of the second half and just not a lot of people there. I mean, I think it's going to be hard after this season and the long offseason that will be now. We talked about earlier, Arkansas does have the benefit of having basketball and baseball, but it's going to be a long offseason with a lot of people talking about what the future looks like with Sam Pittman sticking around.
And the very real possibility of Friday, Mizzou waxing them.
Again, the same thing that happened last year.
Yeah, I mean, if Mizzou went out there and won 55-10, so you can almost hear that chorus call of "We're sticking with this."
And this is a much better Missouri team this year than it was last year.
Good point. It is 17-14. South Carolina over Kentucky. Spencer Rattler 207, 2 touchdowns, both to Xavier Legette. That was a big win for South Carolina. Now they can go for back-to-back wins over Clemson. They haven't done that since 2012 and 2013.
Yeah, and I feel like Rattler's gotten better as the season has progressed. But on the other side for Kentucky, Devin Leary, I mean, it feels like every week in this segment we've been saying, when is Devin Leary going to give us something? And he just hasn't this year.
LSU wins 56-14 with Jaden Daniels putting on a show by himself. He put up over 500 total yards. That would be a great Saturday just for any offense being involved in that. He piled up 509 total yards through 6 touchdown passes, rushed for 2, and he padded the numbers for the Heisman candidacy against Georgia State.
Brett, what's the most impressive, that he had over 500 yards by himself or he had 8 touchdowns?
I'm going to go with 8 touchdowns.
That's incredible. 6 throwing touchdowns, 2 rushing, accounted for 8 touchdowns. That's incredible.
I know that was accounted for as rushing and passing. Yeah. He only threw 17 touchdowns last year.
That's you said it earlier when we were talking to David. He's the best player you've seen this season. It's unbelievable watching him every Saturday.
I'm gonna try to keep an open mind, but right now he would be the leader for me to vote for him for the Heisman. I want to see what he does against A&M Saturday morning, because A&M's got it. I think they have a good defense, but let's see motivation around A&M. That's a look back at the SEC weekend brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin. Look, it's holiday time, and I know everybody's going to have the turkey dress and traditional holiday, but if you want to deviate from that a little bit and maybe go out Wednesday night, Friday night, or have that food for all the games this weekend, keep Jason's Deli in mind. Bringing more to the table. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli with a variety of delicious choices for all three meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. Low delivery fees. Call your local deli for details, and same-day and last-minute orders are welcomed. That's when they really excel. Dining in, to-go, or delivery, wholesome food forever. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli with all those great meals like the pasta feast, the plain Jane potato bar, all the salads, and the salad bar. It's in every location, over 30 items to choose from in all the locations at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Catering anytime, anywhere, healthy. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. It's all about choice at Jason's Deli. Regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, you will be delighted at all these locations. And at every location like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Cordova, and Olive Branch, you can wrap it up with the complimentary free ice cream. Plenty of organic food to choose from and all the great soups because it's soup time of year. And you can get them at Jason's Deli. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Let's grab a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee must finance through Hyundai, Forte LXS, PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610, Sportage R722,7239, MSRP 28,715, EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200, includes all rebates and incentives, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips, 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing, or a big family that needs more room, 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Yeah, that's what I thought. But Frontier Western Store will make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. They have thousands of coats, shirts, and boots. Outfit the entire family today. Looking for a Carhartt beanie? Frontier has every color they make. You'll find a whole wagon full of beanies. You'll also run into the largest selection anywhere of in-stock Carhartt and Ariat jackets and coats. They have endless aisles, an astounding collection at amazing prices. Don't forget the boots, work boots, and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, and especially Ariat. Frontier is the place to shop for name brand boots at the lowest prices every day. Way lower than chain stores and online. Thousands of boots in all sizes for men, women, and children. Not sure what to get? Frontier gift cards are always the right size, color, and price. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday Night Report absolutely free on a recorded message line. Call 1-800-244-5506. Tonight, I love this matchup. Philly, Kansas City is monster. Side and total. Philly, Kansas City, critical information confirmed, plus hoop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to go 5-0 free on recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, number 1 against the spread. Philly, Kansas City is huge. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Philly, Kansas City, plus hoops action. I love to go 5-0 the season free. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, number 1 against the spread. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
It's the Black Friday sales event on now at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And Gossett's got no payments for 90 days. So keep your holiday money in your pocket and get to Gossett today. 2023 Jeep Renegade, $5,000 off or buy it for $25,040. 2023 Grand Wagoneer Series 111, $10,000 off. And 2023 Jeep Gladiator, we Gossett at $12,000 off MSRP. It's your time to buy during the Black Friday sales event at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Renegade Triple P 57091 MSRP 30040. Wagoneer PS 508 331 MSRP 112,285. Gladiator PL 509 834 MSRP 68,815. Financing and deferred monthly to well qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. Take retail delivery by 11/30/23. Includes all rebates and incentives. 695 PF. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
So my big number today comes from the NFL, and again, it is a C.J. Stroud big number, 1,695. That's how many passing yards C.J. Stroud has through his 5 career starts at NRG Stadium. That is the most through 5 career home starts of any quarterback in NFL history. It's really incredible what he has done this year. Not a fantastic game from him with a couple interceptions, but I made this point to John earlier. He had like 339 yards in that game yesterday, but had a couple of interceptions, and I said, you can go down the list of NFL quarterbacks from yesterday, and guys that had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and only threw for 200 yards, 250 yards. I mean, they are letting C.J. Stroud really air it out in Houston, and it's really benefiting them right now.
And 4 sacks yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he got hit and still stood tall. My number is 16. Bama Saturday on Cupcake Saturday, they clinched its 16th straight season. Remember, 16 straight under Coach Nick Saban of 10-win seasons. 16 straight 10-win seasons under Coach Nick Saban. Auburn has had 14 10-win seasons in their entire program history.
Wow.
And I know some Auburn people who will fight you that they're on equal footing with Alabama.
Really?
Yeah.
Brett, that's a great big number, man. Number. That is really legit. That is
16 straight 10-win seasons. Auburn's had 14 in their really glorious football history they have.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great
Absolutely.
football history. That's what I say about Auburn. If Auburn was standalone, if it was in Ketchikan, Idaho, it would really stand out as one of the premier, I mean, 3 Heisman Trophy winners, Pat Sullivan, Bo, Cam Newton, national championship, 57, 2010, Coach Pat Dye, legendary, Coach Shug Jordan, legendary, Coach Hugh Freeze, this is get him now. This is the worst he's going to be. He's going to be really good. They're not even close to Bama.
No, not close at all. I mean, it shows. It really does. But still an unbelievable rivalry game and probably the best rivalry game we have.
I'm going to say the voodoo's dead. Bryce Young killed the voodoo 2 years ago.
Ooh, Bryce Young did it.
Bryce Young did it in overtime in that comeback. He slayed the Auburn voodoo machine.
Wow. Good for
and
him.
It was very real before that overtime.
No, it was very, very real. But no, it's gonna be a fun game. But we'll see if that voodoo is dead or if there's still a little bit of Jordan hair magic in that stadium. But it'll be a lot of fun. Well, let's go ahead and get to a break and wrap up our second hour. When we come back to start hour number 3, DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal, he'll join us to talk Grizzlies. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Shopping at DriveMax. DriveMax. You get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? DriveMax has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
DriveMax. I got approved.
Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. If you're smoking, deep frying, or putting that turkey in the oven, we got over 20 different turkey injections and brines to keep your meat juicy and moist, with brine bags and buckets, and 308 different rubs and sauces to choose from. If you're in need of fuel, Memphis Barbecue Supply carries 9 different types of wood chip, chunk, mini logs, and logs of wood, and over 4 tons of wood pellets in stock. And don't worry, we also carry thermometers, injectors, and all other sorts of gadgets that you might need to simplify your cook. And for any questions that you might have, our knowledgeable staff is always eager to help. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
A 3-carat lab-grown diamond for just $599? A 2-carat lab-grown for only $299? A 1-carat lab-grown diamond for just $99? It's not a mistake. It's Genesis Diamond's unbelievable lab-grown Black Friday sale. That's right. This weekend, Genesis is offering deals absolutely no one can touch. So you can put the ring of her dreams on her finger and get the deal of your dreams at the same time. Other stores are charging $10,000 for 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. But at Genesis, it's just $599. Their 2-carat lab-grown lab-grown diamonds are over $4,000, but the Genesis price is just $299. And their 1-carat lab-growns are $1,500, but you can get a 1-carat lab-grown at Genesis for just $99. This offer is not too good to be true, but it is limited to the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis' exclusive settings. Imagine proposing to the love of your life with a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond. Any shape showcased in a one-of-a-kind setting. Don't miss Genesis Diamonds Lab-Grown Black Friday event this weekend, including Sunday, on Poplar at Perkins Extended. See store for details.
Year-end means huge savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike with the season of giving back. About 41 MPG for those holiday road trips. 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Family road trip, 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat legroom, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And get where you're going for less in a 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway MPGE, $379 a month, $49.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095 MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722 7239 MSRP 28,715. EVP 560 3393 MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Memphis music legends, the Barkays, will be at this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and you'll want to be there too. The Barkays will be performing the music that made Memphis at the President's Gala on December 28th at the Peabody, and at halftime of the 65th AutoZone Liberty Bowl game on December 29th.
Everybody say, so big up.
Get your tickets today by calling the AutoZone Liberty Bowl at 795-7700. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. That volume of traffic has really increased as we stare at it live on 55 southbound down through South Haven all the way down into DeSoto County. It's been slow, it seems like, for hours on 55 southbound across the bridge coming over from West Memphis. Starting to run a little bit slow as you come off 240 now on to Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. It is moving better since we had several wrecks out there going towards Collierville a little bit earlier on 385, again going outbound. Weimer's Jewelry is gearing up and getting ready for Black Friday. Go by and see them before then at 7525 Highway 64. That's Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure studios, and joining us now to talk Grizzlies, DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal, and he joins us now. DeMichael, thanks so much for joining us. The Grizzlies over the weekend, they split their two games, a win against the Spurs, a loss last night, a 2-point loss last night against the Celtics. Let's start with that Spurs game, because the Grizzlies, they get down big in that one, double-digit deficit for a lot of that game, but then they come back and really win comfortably on the road in San Antonio. What was your biggest takeaway from that kind of turnaround in the second half by the Grizzlies?
The biggest takeaway was I mean, I think for me, it probably was the fact that the defense and the offense kind of finally got in sync for this team. You know, I think we've seen the offense kind of come along a little bit as of late. They were really struggling offensively. The defense, for the most part, has been good. I know everyone's pointing out the three-point shooting, the defensive three-point shooting, but for the most part, defense has been solid. But in order for, you know, Memphis to kind of go on one of these runs, they kind of had to play complementary basketball, and that's kind of what we saw early in the fourth quarter in that Spurs game. I think they went on that 17-0 run. It wasn't just the offense started making shots. Everything started with the defensive end, and when they got stopped, it allowed for them to get easier offensive opportunities.
Last night would have been the win of the year, and instead it was another heartbreaking loss 102-100 to Boston. Boston's they're all that. They're going to be around in the middle of June, I suspect, playing. But even winning in San Antonio with the historical lack of success there. But this is a particularly bad San Antonio team, isn't it, DeMichael?
Yeah, and it's a young one, and it's one that wasn't healthy. I think of a guy, I think they were missing Devin Vassell, he's one of those players from that same class as Desmond Bain and has really separated himself in that top tier. They're young. They're young. They have some talent, I think. I like Keldon Johnson for them. I like, Wembanyama. Zach Collins is a nice player, but they're young and they're figuring this thing out. Like Jeremy Sohan is playing point guard for the first time in his life, in this situation. So it's like they're kind of trying to figure out how they're going to build this thing going forward. And this is the time to beat up on them.
Is Greg Popovich the right guy for going forward for this very, very young team with all he's accomplished?
I could never say Greg Popovich is the wrong guy. I think in this case, I get why you say that because of the fact that, this team is kind of, again, they're the youngest team in the NBA, but at the same time, it's a unique opportunity, for Greg Popovich as well, and it's a unique opportunity for those players. If I'm a young player coming into the NBA like Victor Wembanyama, like Devin Vassell, two guys who I think both have all-star potential, who better to learn from than a guy who is kind of, we look at Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili before we even get to the, Tim Duncans and David Robinsons of the world and the Kawhi Leonard that he helped mold into the players they became. I think, those guys could really benefit from his tutelage.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Last night, kind of a different game against one of the best teams in the NBA, I would say, against the Celtics, and really just very competitive, but just fell short at the end. You had an opportunity. Santi Aldama had a good look there at the end, but just shot couldn't fall. But still, I thought very competitive by the Grizzlies against a really good team.
Yeah, and they might have found something, with that new lineup. Mm-hmm. They might have found something there, and Santi at the three gave this team a whole different look, and it helped defensively too. They were very long against Boston, and when they were switching, except against Porzingis, when you switched against Porzingis, it was a definite mismatch. But those bigs that they had on the floor are all mobile, able to go on the perimeter and hold their own, and then you get Jaren and Santi both capable of shooting three-pointers, so you don't have to worry about, spacing issues and things like that. It's a nice little switch-up for them.
13 down, 12 to go without Ja. Have you visited with any team officials about where they think he will be? Will he be ready to go up and running day one, first game, or will it be an acclimation period for him because he can't get back fast enough? Nobody thought after these 13 games and what it will look like after these 25, it would look like this.
Yeah, he'll be back. And ready to go potentially in that first game. I think that's kind of the thinking with the Grizzlies, and that's sort of the idea here. So I think he'll be ready to go pretty quickly.
Does he have any access to the building?
Yes. Yeah. Because right now I think. He's allowed to be around the team. He's allowed to practice with the team and things like that. And what the Grizzlies are about to start doing is, in the last few weeks, I think he's been mainly running with the scout team, second team, third team. As he gets closer to his potential return, he's going to start playing more with the first team, and they're going to get him acclimated that way.
Do you think? I know you would like for it. I would love for them to let him have a sit down, long form think piece with you on what he's been through, on everything going on in his life and his return. Do you think the team will make him available for a clear the air? We talk about this once, get it out of the way, and we move on press conference.
I think so. And it'll probably come pretty fast, whether it's right after the suspension ends or right, when he gets back. But yeah, I think, that things will have to be addressed. Once we get those things addressed, we can kind of move forward, move past, this entire situation. And And I think that's kind of their line of thinking with this.
Yeah. I saw, DeMichael, you tweeted out right before you came on with us, and it was a quote tweet of the Grizzlies PR who had a little bit of an update. I'll just read it real quick. The Memphis Grizzlies today provide the following medical update. After further assessment, Luke Kennard will be reevaluated in 2 weeks as he continues to recover from his left knee bone bruise. Additionally, in connection with his left knee injury recovery, Xavier Tillman Sr. is considered week to week. Further updates will be provided as appropriate. It really seems like the Grizzlies can't catch a break from an injury standpoint.
Nah, and literally, I mean, those two guys are players who I thought with Santi going to the starting lineup, it made sense. Okay, now you got Luke Kennard, Xavier Tillman. They'll be getting back soon. We'd heard in recent days that both of those guys were day to day. And, that's kind of what we were led to believe. And, I guess, reevaluation came and now they're going to be out some time. So this is big. This is a big issue, I think, for the team. On top of the Marcus Smart injury and all these injuries, like they're not day to day. Like as you just read, these guys are all pretty much week to week going forward. And I asked about Xavier Tillman yesterday in particular, and here's what Taylor Jenkins said. I'll kind of read through it. He said it's just some knee soreness that crept in. He said he was out on the West Coast trip, just trying to be cautious. I don't anticipate him playing tonight. We have a couple days before our next game on Wednesday. He's pretty much day to day right now. So if you listen to what I just said, you're kind of led to believe, okay, a couple days before Wednesday, he's day to day right now. He probably could come back Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then today gets here, and you just read it out. Now we find out he's considered week to week instead of day to day. So I mean, maybe Taylor Jenkins is kind of being put on the spot in a lot of these situations, but it's a lot of kind of clarity missing sometimes with some of these injuries. And now we see Luke Kennard 2 weeks, Xavier Tillman Sr. week to week. So just when we thought the front court was like pretty much at full health, as healthy as it could be right now without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, now you got Xavier Tillman out. So we'll see how that shifts some things now, because at the end of the day, you want to have Santi Aldama, in this starting lineup, but you're basically starting the three big men who Taylor Jenkins trusts the most in one lineup. And we saw, the good and the bad with that in yesterday's game. The good was exactly, they played well together. The bad was when Bismack Biyombo and Jaren Jackson Jr. got in foul trouble, Santi Aldama, as a result, had to play 39 minutes on top of Kendall Lawson Jr. playing 13 minutes. And, I mean, Jaren was huffing and puffing a lot of times when he was on the court. I mean, he was having to play longer stretches than normal because of this.
DeMichael, this injury news, and to use your word, and I think it was a very kind word, the lack of clarity about these injuries. You can always bet it's never day-to-day with them. It's always going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's always much worse. And I'm afraid, and I think they have, I think this front office, between some questionable draft selections and they're not either the right hand not knowing what the left hand's doing, or pure head fake with all the injury news. I think they have destroyed their reservoir of goodwill with the fans.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, I think the Steven Adams situation kind of sticks out, right? But for the OG Grizzly fans, you're familiar with the Chandler Parsons situation and some of the other, situation with big guys that have kind of come through here. So it's like, it's definitely, again, Taylor Jenkins isn't a doctor, so to speak, but at the same time, these people here day to day, and they think, okay, no big deal. When Luke Kennard was injured, the word I think that Taylor Jenkins used initially was precautionary. And precautionary has turned into, being reevaluated in a couple weeks. So it's kind of, whether it's, Taylor Jenkins' personal wording or if it's something, medically with the team, I think, we don't know what the case is. I remember with the Steven Adams situation in particular, I ended up talking to some doctors kind of behind the scenes there and just getting a better idea of what happened. And that one ended up making more sense to me, being that, if he would have had the surgery, towards the end of last season, he still would have missed this entire season. So that one made a little bit more sense. But it's these little bugs, and maybe it's just as simple as wording, from Taylor Jenkins. Maybe it's not that big of a deal because, the Marcus Smart situation, right? I was at practice earlier that day, literally 2 hours before the big update, and Taylor Jenkins said, it's nothing too serious. And boom, he's out, pretty much all the way until at least mid-December. It's like, man,
if he's being told that, he's being done a disservice. If he's being told, hey, all clear day to day, you can tell him, don't worry about it. If he's being done that way, he's being done wrong.
Yeah, and I agree. And if that's the case, but it's a tough situation because it's like, you're right. I mean, we've seen it with the Steven Adams situation. Now you got these two examples. The Marcus Smart situation was, nothing too serious or whatever the case may be. So it's like, this is something that definitely has to, from a clarity standpoint, I think, for the fan base, for, where the game is right now, you definitely need that clarity in these situations.
It might be another C word. It might be credibility rather than clarity, DeMichael.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And as a fan, I think it'll be hard for fans to when you hear day to day going forward. It's like, oh, sure, we'll see for ourselves. Like, so credibility is, probably the better word there because it's kind of, damaging it when you hear day to day, and then injuries end up lingering on a little bit longer than day to day.
DeMichael,
I think Derrick Rose was another one that was initially, I think, a day-to-day thing too, and it went to week after that, and so forth. So yeah.
DeMichael, next game for the Grizzlies will be Wednesday night down in Houston against the Rockets. The first game against Dylan Brooks as a member of the Rockets. Me and Brett were talking about it earlier. I think before the season, if we had done W's and L's, I think we would have had that game as a win for the Grizzlies. But now a lot has changed. The Grizzlies, a rough start. The Rockets, I think, a better start than a lot of people expected for them. What do you expect from that game Wednesday night? And do we get the same thing from Dylan Brooks that we've seen when he played LeBron? I think he did it again with the Clippers, where he just kind of stands there and gives this death stare to the other team. Yeah.
I hope so. It's fun. Grizzlies players are actually talking about this in the locker room, which is kind of funny.
Really?
Like, yeah, you think Dylan's going to stare us down too? It's kind of like a phenomenon, right? It's taking over this whole thing now with him and his stare down. But one thing, if you've been following Dylan Brooks and you've been watching Dylan Brooks closely, yeah, these are his guys and whatnot. But when they get on the court,
oh yeah,
he doesn't care about these guys. They're just any other,
and he shouldn't.
And that's how it's going to be. So I think at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be down there. So we'll see what happens. But he's definitely having a strong start to the season. The Rockets are having a strong start. They've lost the last couple games, which I think is just them, getting back to where they probably eventually end the season, like a strong start to them. But I think they'll probably fall off a little bit, as the season goes on. But yeah, he's a big part of that start for me. I can't wait to see. He's probably going to be matched up against Dez, so it's going to be fun to watch.
DeMichael, is Taylor Jenkins on the hot seat?
I wouldn't say so yet, and it's because of all these injuries. It's tough,
It's got to be insulating him, yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I feel like we always talk about, in sports, like, players shouldn't lose his starting spot, with injuries, because of injuries. Like, that's like if someone was just playing incredible basketball right now and, John Morant loses his starting point guard spot. Well, you shouldn't let the guy lose his spot without giving him a chance to, earn it back, or whatever the case may be. And I think as a coach, like, it's tough. Sure, he may never get the team 100% healthy, but you want to at least be, on the floor with Ja, Dez, and Jaren, and let him kind of, see how the team can function with those three core pieces in place. They should, I honestly, with the pieces that they have on the team, they should at least be, a play-in team, with those three guys on the floor together. So I think you give them a chance then, and if they're playing at this level, basically winning 30% of their games. And when Ja Morant's back, then I think the seat is definitely warming up, and the seat gets hot real fast. At that point.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of these games play out with Ja not on the court. But DeMichael, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy that game Wednesday night against Houston. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we'll do it again next Monday.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you, DeMichael. DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal with us on all things Grizzlies, and happy Thanksgiving to DeMichael and his friends and his family. You can still order right now at the commissary for the Thanksgiving spread, for the turkey, for the hams. Here's the number, 901-754-5540. That's smoked turkey, homemade cornbread dressing, gravy, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls, butter, plates, utensils. They do it all for you. A price point for everyone. However, whatever size crowd you have, they will take care of it. Whole turkeys and hams, all the sides. They have bulk pricing. They have preparation instructions for it, and you will get the heating instructions for all the items. They'll have you taken care of at the commissary. Since 1981, been doing this at the holiday season. If you do it this round of holidays, you'll do it the next round. And I suggest you call right now, 901-754-5540, or stop by either place, New Collierville Commissary at Houston Levee and Poplar, or the original in Germantown. Perfect for a big group, perfect for family and friends coming in the night before, the night after, to watch all these games, to enjoy the holidays. But if you want the spread taken care of for you on Thursday, call your order in right now at 901-754-5540, or go online at commissarybbq.com in Collierville and Germantown, those great party areas. And, of course, the Memphis style, the Memphis barbecue done the Memphis way. Barbecue and ribs that scream the Memphis slow-cooked way. If you're craving an easier way to order, you can text commissary right now to 33733. Dig into the ribs or the shoulder, chopped or pulled on a plate, on a sandwich, all the sides, the desserts, and for the holidays, the turkeys and the hams. 901-754-5540, or go online at commissarybbq.com in Collierville and Germantown. The party areas, the orders to go, catering, tailgating, and the holiday bird for this round of the holidays and for Christmas. 901-754-5540, or online at commissarybbq.com. I don't think Taylor Jenkins should be on a hot seat. No. But Brian, I also know human nature. You go 2-12 in this next 12 without a job, and be 5-20 when he returns. Yeah. That's how it happens.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's been a rough start. I mean, these 25 games without Ja, I don't think has gone how anybody thought they would go, and a lot of that has to do with the Steven Adams injury. But I go back to what we were talking to Michael about, and he just tweeted it out, basically what he said to us about him talking to Taylor Jenkins yesterday, not last week, not Saturday, yesterday about Xavier Tillman.
That head fake.
And just if anybody missed it, or if you missed when he said it, this was Taylor Jenkins' response. Just some knee soreness that crept in, just trying to be cautious. I don't anticipate him playing tonight. We have a couple of days before our next game on Wednesday. He's pretty much day to day right now, and that's not Taylor Jenkins going back there and looking at him and saying, oh, okay, well, this is wrong with you. You're going to be day to day. Those are other people. That's the front office that is giving him this information. That's the medical team that's giving him this information. And the fact that yesterday DeMichael Cole, the beat writer for the team, got an answer of he's day to day, and now we get an announcement of no, he's week to week.
And it just makes everyone think anytime they say anything, you don't believe them.
Right. I mean, it's just, we've
the credibility is really being destroyed.
Yes, and we talk about the, trust the front office and how that's kind of waning a little bit, and that's the biggest part of it is these injuries, and not only injuries. I get it, you can't avoid injuries, but it's the clarity, the not giving a straight answer on every single injury with this team.
And if it's bad medical advice, get new doctors.
Yes.
If it's you passing along, go feed this to the masses when they know it's not true.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing what potentially could be irreparable harm, and I think undercutting a really good man and a good coach in Taylor Jenkins. Nobody wants to fire him because of what's happened.
No.
But some head's going to roll.
Sure. I mean, something's going to have to happen.
You're not going to fire Jerry Jackson.
No. And it's, it's been a bad start. But, like you said, it's just human nature. If this start carries out to past Ja's return and they're still struggling, you might have to make a move.
And you know what scares me about a potential opening for the Grizzlies? It's never going to happen.
Ooh.
But you know what the answer is going to be from some.
What's that?
Cal.
Oh, Cal.
Hire Cal.
Hire Cal. Oh, that's a new one. How about that? Yeah. I mean, things are getting weird at Kentucky. He might decide to make that jump back to the NBA. You never know.
Been weird at Kentucky with the lack of winning championships.
That's very true. But before we get to a break, I've got to remind you about our friends over at Hewlett & Dunn. They sponsor our 5 o'clock hour every single afternoon. Hewlett & Dunn, boot and jean on the historic square in Collierville since 1961. Charles Hall, he started working there in his teens, and now with his wife Laura, they own the place, known for all the boots, but also clothing, accessories, and a cap for any team in any season. Western wear, work boots, also safety toe, soft toe, rubber boots for every occasion at Hewlett & Dunn. And from head to toe, they have you covered with every brand imaginable, like Ariat, Dan Post, Anderson Bean, whether for men or women. They've also got the clothing like jeans, pants, shirts, shorts, outerwear, and the best duck head collection you'll find. Charles and Laura Hall invite you to 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville or to their website, hewlettdunn.com. And I got to remind you, those Christmas lights are about to go up out in Collierville on their town square. So a perfect time with that Christmas shopping, looking for a present for everybody in your family. Head out to Hewlett & Dunn. They've got something for everybody. They've also got accessories like hats, sunglasses, boot care products in every area, team snapback, and cool hats you can think of, whether it be for the Tigers, Mississippi State, UT, Ole Miss, or the Razorbacks. They've got it. And for travel, the bag selection is top notch. HewlettDunn.com, but please head out to Collierville and give them a visit and say hello at 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville at Hewlett & Dunn. Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for our Ruth's Chris Monday Night Football pick and preview. We've also got to get to our big four quarterbacks for both Kansas City and Philadelphia. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Fall is in the air, and so are Choate's Early Bird Specials. Right now, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier gas furnace. Carrier furnaces come with some of the best warranties in the industry, and Choate's has been professionally installing them for over 60 years. As a Carrier factory authorized dealer, Choate's also offers competitive financing solutions for you and your family. If your heating system is in good shape, make sure you take advantage of Choate's Early Bird Tune-Up Special for $60. This tune-up is an in-depth 20-point inspection to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter season ahead. So call 347-8086 to schedule your Early Bird Special today. And turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday Night Report absolutely free on a recorded message line. Call 1-800-244-5506. Tonight, I love this matchup. Philly, Kansas City is monster, side and total. Philly, Kansas City, critical information confirmed, plus hoop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to go 5-0 free on recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. Philly, Kansas City is huge. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Philly, Kansas City, plus hoops action. I love to go 5-0 this season free. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. That's 1-800-244-5506 or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
The Black Friday sales event is on, and you better run, not walk, to Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Plus, Gossett's got no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days, no payments. Take your pick, 2023 Dodge Charger SXT or 2023 Dodge Challenger SXT, $6,000 off MSRP. Or check out 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn, seat 6, 6,750 pounds towing capacity. We Gossett at $11,000 off. And if we don't have what you're looking for, Gossett can order it today. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike, or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Charger PH 50 8657 MSRP 35960. Challenger PH 596577 MSRP 36345. Ram PN 523262 MSRP 55755. Financing and deferred monthly to well qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. Take retail delivery by 11/30/23. Includes all rebates and incentives. 695 PF. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. If you're smoking, deep frying, or putting that turkey in the oven, we got over 20 different turkey injections and brines to keep your meat juicy and moist, with brine bags and buckets, and 308 different rubs and sauces to choose from. If you're in need of fuel, Memphis Barbecue Supply carries 9 different types of wood chip, chunk, mini logs, and logs of wood, and over 4 tons of wood pellets in stock. And don't worry, we also carry thermometers, injectors, and all other sorts of gadgets that you might need to simplify your cook. And for any questions that you might have, our knowledgeable staff is always eager to help. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawald Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawald is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still wants to run a little bit slow. 55 southbound coming across the bridge over from West Memphis. It's still busy over here, but it's moving fairly decent on 240 as you get on to 385. Billmore's Parkway still heavy, headed out towards Collierville. I still see a little bit of volume South Memphis on 55 going southbound, headed down in and through South Haven. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry's gearing up for Black Friday. Go by and see them at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Welcome aboard. ABC's Monday Night Football.
As if Monday Night Football couldn't be even bigger going into the holidays. We have a rematch of the Super Bowl, rematch of 57. Yeah. It could be a preview of 58. Tonight's just the 9th time in Super Bowl history that the next season the two combatants from Super Bowl Sunday have met the next year. And, you know, that seems pretty obvious with AFC, right, NFC, and really how we used to do scheduling. I was going to use this later, but I guess it's a good time to use it now. The Eagles and the Chiefs met for the first time in 1972. You know, that was well after the merger, but still kind of getting in some of those old guard NFL teams to play the AFL teams. They didn't meet again for 20 years.
Really?
They went 72-92.
Wow.
Now, he's not going to get any credit for it, and I don't think you get a gold star for this.
Right.
But what Goodell's got more sense in scheduling than we've ever had. We actually see everybody with a lot more regularity than we used to. These two teams have only met 10 times ever, and one of them was last year in the Super Bowl. This is a good one tonight. Eagles and Kansas City, all eyes on Mama Kelsey's box tonight, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if Taylor Swift's going to show, that's what I've heard all day. Is Taylor Swift going to be there tonight?
I really don't. I really don't know. I hope there's not any. is Mr. Kelsey around?
Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea. I really don't.
I've never. I don't either.
Yeah.
If something, I don't know. But you never hear or see anything about him. But whatever. Again, I did not mean that at all, crudely. If it came out that way, I did not mean for it to. But tonight will be fun. One of the great home stadium atmospheres in the NFL. It's Arrowhead. It feels like a college football scene there. Philadelphia is good as well. This one tonight, though, 2.5-point favorite, Kansas City over Philly. Over the weekend, Bryant, you were 4-0 in pro football.
How about that? What a weekend.
In the NFL. You got robbed, too, yesterday, not getting a straight-up win out of the Vikings last night. Who'd you have in the Grey Cup?
I didn't. I don't even know who played in the Grey Cup.
Winnipeg and Montreal.
Oh, Montreal.
Montreal won it, didn't they?
Alouettes, yeah, I think they did.
Bo Marchand, who does some advising work for the Bombers, sent me a picture from the team bus going to the Grey Cup yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. But my CFL consumption really takes a nosedive when American football starts.
Mine, too. I went 3-1 in the NFL yesterday. My only loss was Cleveland by a half point. You got me there with we kept the point spread at the right spots. You had a good opportunity there, but you played fair. Hey, that's what you went with.
Hey, that's it.
Saturday in college, you were 4-2. I was 3-3, but I had a straight up win with my shock with Washington, so I got a point there. And tonight it's Kansas City minus 2.5 over Philadelphia. I want to see if Kansas City can line up and run the ball. If they can't, I think Philadelphia tees off on Mahomes.
They really might. And I think we've kind of seen Kansas City almost kind of go in the opposite direction. I mean, they've kind of struggled the last couple of weeks, and even in some of those wins haven't looked like world beaters. So, no, I'm super pumped for this game tonight.
Who do you got? Who do you have? I take Philadelphia big.
I'm also going to take Philadelphia, but I think it's a little closer.
Group lock this weekend in the pros. We agreed on the Raiders, and we got there. In college, that's huge. Were 2-1. We both had Memphis plus the points, and we both had Georgia minus the points. The loss was Kansas State against Kansas. Did Iowa State get everybody but you? You're the only person I heard here in Yon that took Texas.
Oh,
great pick.
Yeah, thank you. No, I like Texas, and no, that was one that I walked into a restaurant Saturday night, saw the game was on. I think it was tied 3-3 at that point. I said, "Oh boy, this one might be ugly." And then next thing I know, I mean, they were up big.
Alan Bell 2-2 on college football. He's 2-0 right now in the NFL. Remember, he went the trifecta. He went Philly money line, Philly plus the 2.5, and the over 45.5. Bruce Marshall was 5-1 on college football and 1-2 in the NFL. He won one of his two losses, Pittsburgh, getting the points at Cleveland, with Cleveland winning at the buzzer. And he also lost in Detroit, laying the 7.5 over Chicago. The hook got him.
Yeah, but a really good weekend from both of them, and really good seasons for both of them. They've both been really good this year.
Real good years. And again, they have no idea what games we're throwing at them.
We're just tossing them.
It by no means is anything close to their favorite game. Fun Monday night football game tonight, always fun. At Ruth's Chris Steakhouse on Monday night, and perfect this time of year. It's decorated just perfectly, perfect for your holiday office get-together or that special get-together that you want to have, whether it's date night, a birthday, after a big win, or just because. Raise a steak in celebration at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in the Regalia Shopping Center. Plenty of safe, free parking. Here are the sizzles. This is how celebrating, enjoying Monday Night Football should be done. For any occasion, treat yourself to one of the classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection, then served sizzling hot on a Ruth signature 500-degree plates. Trust us on the temperature and trust us on a great time at Ruth's Chris Memphis in Regalia. Kevin Johnson's the GM. Jared Wells is executive chef. They're working so very hard during the holidays for you, the valued customer, and they want everyone to know about holiday party plans. You need to call them now or go online and make your holiday office party just perfect at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Open for lunch on Sunday, happy hour Monday through Thursday 4 to 6, and Sunday from 3:30 to 6 to enjoy Sunday afternoon NFL game. But Monday Night Football, it's the place to be. Most hospitable steakhouse in town. Ruth's gift cards always available. The patented boiling method. Hear the sizzles and enjoy Monday Night Football on all the TVs. Ruth'sChris.com to make a reservation and celebrate the right way at Ruth's Chris. Okay, top 4 quarterbacks all time for Kansas City. And I'm not going to be, I was going to say it might be the first time I'm ever mad at you. I've never been mad at you, Brian. I'm not going to be mad, but I'm going to pick at you a little bit when I hear your Chiefs Big 4.
All right, here we go. I like my Chiefs Big 4. Number 4, Trent Green. He makes the top 4 at number 4.
St. Louis native, Trent Green.
That's correct. Number 3, Joe Montana.
Oh, I can't pick at you. That was the one.
Montana coming in at number 3.
I was going to get on you if you can have Aaron Rodgers with the Jets after one pass and not super. Joe Montana got him to an AFC championship game.
Sure did. I had to put Joe Montana on
about
there.
15 feet from where I'm sitting. I have a Joe Montana Notre Dame Christmas ornament on my sports theme tree, and a number 19 with the Chiefs sports themed tree, but nothing with the Niners. They never made one. Come on, Hallmark.
Oh, man.
Get it right.
Classic Hallmark. Number 2, Alex Smith for me on my list. Some really good years there for Alex Smith with the Chiefs. And then number 1, I mean, how's he not number 1? Patrick Mahomes, what he has done there. I mean, I don't
you
like
left off Lenny Dawson. I am going to pick
I
at you.
know you are. I know you are. But Pat Mahomes, number 1. How about that? He's going tonight.
All right, I'm with you on Mahomes. He's number 1. I don't care what the yardage says. He's going to pass Lynn Dawson. But Lynn Dawson's 2. 3, Trent Green, and 4, Alex Smith. I do not have Joe Montana. It was good years, but I don't have him in my top 4. My Eagles, number 1, Donovan McNabb. He should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Number 2, right now, the quarterback now, Jalen Hurts. I got him 2 all time, and Mahomes 1. We rarely have now that high. Number 3 for me in Eagles history, Michael Vick.
Okay.
Number 4, Randall Cunningham.
Okay. OLI for me. I've got a rare OLI on my Eagles list. Michael Vick. I mean, just right outside. Love Michael Vick. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
And those were the years after the legal entanglement and the humiliation and how he took everything. I love the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He did the crime, did the time, came out repentant, came out regretful, came out with sincere apologies.
Yep.
And filed for personal bankruptcy, and then went and made good on every single debt he had, and he did not too. He was legally shielded from it and then played ball, and I think a great analyst.
Yeah, and so I have to put him at OLI. I've got to at least mention him in my list, even though he didn't make the top 4. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. I mean, has done a lot.
On, Johnny,
but
what's
just,
going on with Brian on
just,
these lists?
Brian tripping. He a tough judge. He a tough judge. Man.
Number 3, Randall Cunningham. I mean, a great career for him in Philadelphia.
Even a good quick kick punter one day. I think had a 99-yarder.
That's right. So he's number 3 for me. Number 2, Donovan McNabb. Oh, another unbelievably great Eagles quarterback.
You're not going Jaws number 1, are you?
Number 1, Nick Foles. I mean, the only Super Bowl MVP they have.
You're wild.
He's number 1 for me. I mean, name somebody else that Super Bowl.
I'm disappointed.
He's got a statue.
Hey, exactly. Name another one. I mean, he's got to be number 1 for me.
The Philly play made him.
Oh, incredible.
The Philly special.
I mean, it made him all the way number 1 on my Eagles list. How about that?
I was there in Minneapolis at Super Bowl 52 on the complete other end from the Philly special play.
That's unbelievable.
That was Justin Timberlake at halftime that day.
It was. No, I mean, congratulations, Nick Foles. You made one of our lists, and number 1 on one of our lists. How about that?
Number 1, Nick Foles.
Nick Foles. That's a good list. But it's going to be a great game tonight.
Why not Roman Gabriel? Why not Norm Schneed?
Well, we got to do a little bit more. I mean, Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, Brett. I mean,
what about Jaws? Nothing better than when Chris Berman go Jaws.
That's great. But I mean, can't knock the stat book, the trophy case. I mean, look at the trophy case, Brett.
they got one Super Bowl ever, and he got it,
and
didn't
he
they?
got it and won MVP. So
He made grown people eat stuff out of the street.
Yeah, well, Brett.
And I mean real stuff.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that.
No, we don't. Not at dinner time. No,
not at
I'm
dinner
sorry,
time,
Bruce
no.
Chris. I'm sorry during your time.
Well, I'll do it for our Monday Night Football, Bruce Chris Monday Night Football pick and preview. Also, our top 4 quarterbacks for both the Chiefs and the Eagles. Should be a great game. And let me remind you, you can listen to that game right here on Sports 56. Our coverage will start at 7 p.m. for Eagles and Chiefs right after Rebel Yell Hotline tonight. But let's go ahead, get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show, Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. Five Ash Roofing, the name to know. Five Ash Roofing, the only way to go. Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Five Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. Five Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I know we say it all the time. Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown bar, is not a sports bar. It's a bar that happens to have sports on the high-def TVs. You know what a great bar Bell Tavern is. You know how great the signature cocktails are. You know how amazing the food is. And all that is what makes Bell Tavern such a great bar. But what sports we have on those TVs this month? If you love college basketball, the NFL, the Grizzlies, and college football, well, for this month, you can pretend Bell Tavern is a sports bar. A very civilized sports bar.
Let's end this year with a bang with Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. You want huge savings? We Gossett. The awards keep coming for the world's first and best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV. 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. 420 total range and PGE. We Gossett at $299.96 a month. Plus, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Buy for $26,850 or $379 a month. Plus, IIHS top safety pick in seat 7. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander. $32,185 or $399 a month. All equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062-303 MSRP 44,355 84 months 500 military and conquest or loyalty rebate. Outlander RZ006545 MSRP 33,185 Sport RU0010004 MSRP 27,850 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, we have catered parties all over this country and all over the world, from Singapore, Australia to Central Park in New York, but many people don't realize how much we do locally. For holiday events, office parties, tailgating, birthday parties, you can't do better than the Rendezvous. For example, you can get a cheese and sausage tray for 15 to 300 people for $375 a person. You can even build your own nacho bar for $10.50 per person. All you need is a minimum of 15 people. In many cases, we can arrange delivery and full-service catering. We've even made it easy to get to-go items. You can just park at our front door in the alley, put on your flashes, and we'll get you going ASAP. For all your catering items and prices, go to hogsfly.com, click on menu, and drop down to catering.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Virgos' Rendezvous in the alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here I am, I'm a man on the scene. I can give you what you want, but you got to come home and me. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today is the Cardinals have made a splash, I guess, in free agency. They signed their first pitcher of the offseason, hopefully first of many. Lance Lynn coming back to St. Louis to be a Cardinal on a 1-year deal. And if you
Fourth starter?
Hopefully.
Stephen Matt's fifth?
I hope, but you never know.
Michael's third?
Michael's third, and then maybe make a couple more splashes. I know.
Who's 2-1?
Well, I saw a lot of Cardinal fans earlier today talking about the international prospect from Japan, Yamamoto. The Cardinals are in on that, but I'd be surprised if they land him.
You gonna count on that?
I wouldn't count on that, and then maybe bringing in, getting another big splash in free agency or a
Blake
trade
Snell?
as your
Sonny
second.
Gray?
I've heard Tyler Glasnow.
He's hurt, isn't he?
He's hurt. And who was the other name I saw? I don't remember the other name. But, I mean, Brett, you should probably be, expect like Lance Lynn now, maybe Michael Wacha later. And
Cardinals
then,
really may never win another game.
They really might not. But you look at what Lance Lynn did in Chicago last season. He was 6-9 with a 6.47 ERA. Got traded at the deadline to the Dodgers. Was better.
A lot of sixes.
Yeah, a lot better with the Dodgers though. 7-2 with a 4.36. Now, if you look, I saw a lot of people touting. In terms of going against pitchers from the starting pitchers from last year's team in St. Louis, he blows everybody out in strikeouts, and they need the swing and miss. But no, this is not one that you run home and you throw a party about bringing Lance Lynn back to St. Louis.
Brian, I learned that our Cowboys are in the best group. Dak Prescott and our Cowboys are in the best group they may have been in a long time. 3 in a row to get to 7-3. But that schedule, they lost to the 2 best teams they played this year.
Yeah.
They got 2 more gimmies until the big rematch with Philly.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. What I could have done without Brett, there's been a lot of hype ever since the announcement by Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods of the TGL, this new kind of golf venture where it's inside with a bunch of simulators. There's a bunch of celebrities that were going to be a part of it, a bunch of golfers that were going to be a part of it. But today, the league announced that their inaugural season that was supposed to start in January 2024 has been pushed back to 2025. Sure, why not? But some damage to their arena that all of these events were going to take place in are forcing them a failure of its power system and backup systems have during construction caused the dome to deflate. And then it caused damage to the air-supported dome within the site.
The supply chain.
A lot of things happening, I guess, but we won't have that new golf venture that a lot of people seemed excited about if it gets off the ground. I think this could be super damaging to it, but if we get it, we won't get it till 2025.
I could have done without this. Ole Miss opening as a 13-point favorite over Mississippi State. That's rat poison. It's already down to around 10.5 or 11. The last time Ole Miss won by the point spread that it came out at 13, the last time they would have covered that point spread in Starkville, 2003, with a man named Eli Manning, 31-0.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
20 years they haven't covered a point spread that big in Starkville.
Yeah.
They are 10-4 all time on Thanksgiving Day or night in Starkville, though.
Wow. But you mentioned that earlier about that big point spread. 13.5 was what it opened at, and I was shocked. Obviously, rivalry game, it's always usually pretty close, so that did surprise me. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to Kansas City for Monday Night Football, and hopefully it's all fun and games in the Kelsey box. We hope we get to see them a lot tonight. KC leads 6-4 all time. They just haven't played that much.
No, they really haven't. That'll be a really fun game tonight. Well, since you're beaming there, I'm going to beam out to not Maui this year because of all of those fires. Honolulu for the games tonight. This game, Purdue and Gonzaga is still going on. Purdue with a 71-59 lead over Gonzaga right now, but some really good games.
UCLA and Marquette out there.
UCLA and Marquette finishes off. Kansas and Chaminade. Always fun to watch Chaminade in this event, but it's going to be a really fun Maui Invitational.
The Tigers go to Maui next year, don't they?
That's correct, yes.
And Chaminade only plays every other year.
Yes.
So that'll make the field even tougher next year back in Maui when the Tigers go out there. All the college basketball from Madison Square Garden to Maui. We love this time of year. Also, Clippers at Spurs tonight.
Yeah, no, that'll be a really fun game, especially with the Clippers really kind of struggling since acquiring James Harden. So that'll be fun to see what they look like tonight. It should be a really good night. Like I said, we do have the Maui Invitational, but a lot of other games starting at 6 and going to the night. Brett, our final tip-off of the night is scheduled for 11:30 tonight, our time. Cal versus UTEP. I've heard some people say that tip could be later. I think it's part of a tournament.
That's Mad Dog Madsen coaching Cal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, a lot of action tonight in college basketball. Obviously, the NBA, this NFL game tonight that we'll have right here
Feast
on Sports
week.
56. It's Feast Week. I mean,
great week.
Name a better week. It's really, really fun. But that's all the time we have today. Like I said, we'll have Eagles and Chiefs tonight at 7 p.m. But enjoy your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Whether it's date night, a birthday, or just because, raise a steak in celebration at Ruth's Chris. Open in the Regalia Shopping Center at the corner of Poplar and Ridgeway. Treat yourself to one of our classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection. Then serve sizzling hot on one of Ruth's signature 500-degree plates. Visit Ruth'sChris.com to make a reservation. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Memphis. This is how celebrating more is done.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store. With 20 employees along with complete inventory of items, big to little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard.